All right, here's part 4 on how I got my first girlfriend. If you're one of those people that's like in their 20s and 30s, attractive, yet still single for all of your life somehow, maybe you'll find this helpful. One thing I had to learn is that to ask, a couple things about relationships. One is that people get into relationships for all kinds of reasons. It's not just because they're in love. Sometimes it's for money, sometimes it's for other types of resources. It's just sex, convenience, codependency. But I'm talking about, how do you get into a relationship with somebody you actually are in love with or could be in love with, and stay there. There's the age-old advice of just be yourself, which is awful advice because it's true, but there's a lot of nuance that needs to be added to that. For men, the advice should be something to the effect of be the best version of yourself, including and understanding the archetypes of king, warrior, magician, lover. Develop your masculine side and your feminine, but lean into the masculine. For women, it would be the inverse. If a man develops himself into the truest version of himself, and often there's a lot of men out there, myself included, who have a masculine core, but we're not expressing that. We're sort of more effeminate because that's the way we had to be as a child in order to get by. So I learned to become confident within myself and develop the masculine qualities about myself that made me attractive to women. I developed another way to put that is I developed the masculine qualities about myself that made me attractive to the feminine. And at the same time, I was becoming more and more confident in who I was, so I didn't falsely portray an aspect of myself thinking that would entice someone to be with me, because it never worked. The same is true for women. In fact, I would recommend a book called Intimate Communion by David Deida, and any of the books that he's written. It's a bit countercultural, but I think you have to be today's day and age. I think the culture is depolarizing relationships between men and women. I think it's made relationships between men and women much more difficult. And if you can lean into building the truest, most wonderful, best version of yourself that embodies either your masculine or feminine quality, you're going to be very attractive to the opposite sex. But you cannot be fake about it, and you also have to accept that it may never happen for you, and that it's okay that if it doesn't. And I think in the next part, I will explain how once I learned that for myself and started to act, actually believe that and then acted on it, that's when I met a girl that became my girlfriend later last year. And I've dated girls before her, but this was the first one I actually had feelings for that was attractive, and it worked out for a while. But ultimately, the relationship wasn't meant to be. Anyway, whatever.